Hey guys, what's up? It's me, VK, and today we're going to be reacting to another death battle. So this here is our Halloween episode, Blade versus Buffy. This is going to be a next live action one here. First time I'm going to be reacting to something like this. I mean, this is my second death battle reaction, but first to a live action one. And now in terms of who I want to win, it's going to be I'm rooting for Blade here. And I'm thinking Blade's going to win. I'm not sure. I mean, he is with very overpowered Marvel characters, but I know regarding Buffy here, I know she's like keep hearing that she's this universe level something, but still going to kind of rooting for Blade here. So I'm on Blade's side here. Let's just get into your action. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fight!
Let's do this.
Blade versus Buffy.
The
Doing this kind
Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
would
would win a death battle.
Okay,
They are
Blade.
known by many names. Revenant, Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who
Still don't believe in vampires. It's so dark, I can't see the front of my eyeballs. And one of those cool X-Files flashlights. Maybe makes us even. I don't believe in ice frame from webs. Ever heard of Dr. Theodore Jackson? Nobel Prize-winning chemist. He died in the 30s.
knows.
Comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore.
Let's see. Real name, Eric Brooks. Age, over 100 years old, or approximately 100 years old. Height 6'2", weight 215 pounds. Species is Dampier, which is a word that's half human, half vampire. A professional jazz trumpeter. He likes I Am Legend, Brielle, and Boy Thing. And make that new movie, Marvel. Yeah, still waiting for a MCU Blade movie. Kind of expecting that one too for me.
Just as the young Eric Brooks's mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses.
Is there a necromancer hired to stop me? Between those, you're not allowed here, science. It's the real chocolate. Eric Brooks, a blade, half human, half vampire. Vampire killing machine. Named for the fiend for slicing up undead enemies. See currently.
Like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would reap the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately.
Though Blade has been incapacitated via stabbing, his healing factor has power through impalement and secondary material like Blade the series and the Blade anime.
And sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong kung fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Roop.
Abilities: blood-sucking fangs, magical energy siphoning, hypersenses, immortality, regeneration, shapeshifting, berserk mode, and various martial arts.
is from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained. Blade's training progressed smoothly until...
You see, my son, I thought they'd forgotten me. It's been so long, so many years. No, Jamal, not you too.
Afari was attacked and had his blood drained.
Forget Dracula, never forgets. He found me, Blade. 4 nights ago, found me.
By Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there!
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude.
Arsenal, blades, blades, magical adamantium swords, knives, sticks, and throwing glaives, a blade, nunchuck, body armor, countless firearms and explosives, a prosthetic gun hand, anti-hypnosis goggles, flame gauntlets, edge of Intrados, a breathing gun, boy thing, and a motorcycle.
Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary.
See, you want this? Titanium steel, secondary adamantium.
Adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like
all this stuff.
Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Bird Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed, and if they get lodged in
You're dead, Billy Magazine.
your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even...
In the same fight where the Brain Gun harmed him, comic Ghost Rider defended attacks from a Captain Marvel that could, quote, melt through a star.
hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-
In some knack version of Miles, and Sonic Spider-Man isn't part of the mainline Spider-Man and comic book crossovers.
Spider-Men like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied
His feats battled vampires for approximately 90 years. He harmed the cosmic Ghost Rider with the breeding gun, tore bodies apart with his bare hands, blocked gunfire with his nunchucks, dodged Count Von Stat's optic lasers, survived Hulk throwing him into the sky, fought a horde of killer geese with Deadpool, defeated Dracula, Deacon Frost, Zardos, and Varney.
And with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm.
No, and stars in the sky is quite very cold.
Storm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampires, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like...
Hey, real quick, how would you find...
amazingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston.
Made Blade
Dracula forms like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
so he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way a far...
Tonight, we'll be trained not just tonight, but at sunrise and sunset. I'll learn to do this.
trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature.
Vampires, the police.
Pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they'll be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Okay, let's see what Buffy has. Oh,
Today's battle is
Bunch of
sponsored
time.
by Prize Picks.
Yes.
You know what's
Don't worry.
awesome? Being right, especially when your co-host is always wrong.
Funny,
Yeah,
but on
that's
Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right, like I always am.
You're just boasting because Prize Picks makes it easy to play. All you gotta do is pick more or less on at least 2 players' stats. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. That's it.
Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, so you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. I'm picking more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns. I guess I'm just a positive thinker like that.
Well, I'm positive that you totally copied me, because I'm picking the same. You followed me on the app and saw my feed tab, didn't you?
That's right, and you can too. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DEATH to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup.
That's code DEATH to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup.
Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
okay, Buffy time.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first.
Okay, background about Buffy. Full name Buffy Ann Summers. Height 5'4". Occupation a waitress, counselor on law enforcement. Love interest Spike, Angel, Riley, Spike, and Satsu. Death count at least 2. Founder and president of the Third Magic Council. She likes Ice Capades, James Spader, Christian Slater, and pineapple pizza. Hey, you and me. I'm feeling you for that too. I mean, I'm Canadian, so what do you expect?
First girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby Gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of
lot.
thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry.
Sonny.
There's wooden stakes, of course.
Her arsenal: crossbow, knives and sticks, morning star, grenades, flamethrower, M136 rocket launcher, a hellfire launcher, Hope's dagger, a laser rifle, Olaf's hammer, not the guy from Frozen, I believe, the glove of Minigon, pronounce that right, and razor blades. Nice.
Sometimes dipped in Gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks
I'll
Hong
do more
Kong's
blade.
kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephalian's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight black.
Hey, hold on, let's
Explosions,
see.
like the one that destroyed Cephalian's lair that's bigger on the inside.
Layer, that's 3 million cubic meters. I know that's be greater than what Blade started, but Blade has fought higher dimensional beings. So
She can even fight blindfolded. But if she is injured, she
abilities: accelerated healing, heightened senses, martial arts and weapons expertise, Cloutier's trance, a Slayer mode, and a superhuman resistance to hypnosis and mind control, clairvoyance, poisons and sedatives, physical possession, soul manipulation, and memory manipulation. Blade hasn't none of those, so I don't know.
heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly
Stumbled
resilient to
Blade too,
esoteric
so
attacks. Like when
had
she
to put her
expelled
down.
this misty
Buffy returned to the dimension of Shadow Men for help against the first evil. She saw this demon and described it to me as living black smoke. I sought to merge with her, and she refused an entry.
shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her.
It was almost enough to pull her apart, to scatter her soul across eons. Among these thousands of years of slayers. No, she thought, an echo over millions of days, infinite moments. I'm the slayer. Moment by moment, life by life, in an instant or a fraction of forever, she pulled herself back. Heart and soul, she grasped the lifeline, the primal power of the slayer, and she found herself again. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one for Blade.
Soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Whoa. So that's going to be another advantage for Buffy. The army of demons by the time who's not sure. Smash by how the mentioned vampires were all but wiped out. They won't stay lurks. Self in order recently. Such an enemy, they got unravelable as legends are.
Buffy has dreamt of every
Buffy can tap into her skills subconsciously. She can react without thinking, sense danger in advance, and fight at her full potential even after her memories were erased.
battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the hell god Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence!
Paying cash to get your cash? How about unlimited free withdrawals from any ATM, anywhere?
This absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battle for 40...
Her feats destroyed the Seed of Wonder, lifted Olaf's enchanted hammer, again not frozen, cut the sword that sealed Akathla, survived Willow's unrestrained magic power, matched Oz's micro-millisecond reactions, gouged out the Hell Lord Belfegar's eye, withstood lightning from the Gatherer, defeated the Master, Dracula, First Evil, and Hellmother. Yikes.
hours straight,
advantages
defeated
for Buffy.
vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The, Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's
Bardiche Sight, a counterpart to Excalibur, forced to kill old ones, contains the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers, cause true magic, space, and ghosts, power absorption, reflection, and redistribution, magical wars against theft and power removal, and the Scythe conceived a child with Willow in the novel Stone Ask. Looks like, yes, Blade is done for,
Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons, the Scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The Scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the Scythe, Buffy was finally whole. being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Hey, as you know, it's Skeletober.
You mean October?
No, stupid, it's the Skeletober Skelebration.
I don't get it.
Come on, don't you watch Death Battle Cast? And for the first time ever, we've got Skeletober merch on the Death Battle store.
Wait, isn't that just Skeletor?
Skeletober? Yeah, look at that head. Oh, I'm putting those stickers on everything. Wait, is that a pillow? We sell pillows now? Hell yeah, I'll take 7.
You can find all that and more, including our limited desk mats that are selling pretty quick, at www.deathbattle.gg. That's www.deathbattle.gg.
Happy Skeletober!
So yeah, looks like Blair's toast here. I think I'm on Buffy's side now because of that overpowered sightseeing that can warp, literally cut through your reality. And she has that experience of like stairs getting back to the Stone Age and beings who existed before reality. So yeah, Blair's toast, Buffy's gonna win. Let's see.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a live-action death battle!
Third one. Let's do this. Here's Buffy. And there's Blade.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she is just the start. Dude's just a kid!
Not anymore.
Right, battle starting. Yeah, so we're gonna get his ass kicked. Oh. Just got a sword.
You out your damn mind?
That's gonna last. That's not gonna last. Yeah, it's not gonna work. No, she's got Slayer strength.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
You said it! You said it! There's the side. Now we want big side. It's gonna be the killing blow.
Another sword!
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
It's gonna do that. That's good. Magic! That's not gonna work. Here it comes. Look, there it is. Yep. What'd I say, huh?
Looks like you got ahead of yourself.
See what I say, huh?
Heyo! To be Blade tenured no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought,
Buffy scales nearly a dozen power feats across her media that exceed any of Blade's scaling. In Chaos Bleeds, Buffy's sword, Hope's dagger, harmed the god of evil, dispersing its consciousness across all dimensions of reality.
compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light.
Blade scales to Cyclops and Daredevil, who are stated to react in nanoseconds, while Buffy scales to Oz, who is stated to react in micromilliseconds. Both statements are likely hyperbolic and would be equal to each other regardless.
Beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing
Boything's armor ability would not resist the Slayer Sight's spatial cutting or power absorption, while his ability to burn anyone who feels fear hurt Silver Surfer. Buffy's supernatural courage would resist this.
factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more
While Blade knows of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and according to Marvel's Midnight Suns is his favorite show, let's be real, he hasn't read the novels. Wow.
personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to
The Shadow Demon is described as mist and smoke. Buffy repelled it from entering her body. She also beat her version of Dracula, who could turn into mist by timing her strikes between the shapeshifting.
mist and exploding her from the inside out?
Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say,
The Scythe powers mean Buffy can't be sealed away and can resist the magic nullification of Blade's Atlantean sword.
Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing.
The breeding gun's homing bullets have been stopped before, like by Madcap. The gun also can hurt holy beings. Given Buffy's powers are angelic in the novels, the gun may not work against her at all.
Gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse-devouring god, I think it could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy
Buffy.
the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, who's next? Who's
Next
coming in
time
November?
on Death Battle.
Dante? Dante's coming back?
Subscribe
Clive?
and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Clive Rossfeld from Final Fantasy? Okay. So that was Blade versus Buffy. Tilly called it that Blade would win, even though Buffy would win, even though I wanted Blade to. But yeah, Devil May Cry first, Final Fantasy coming. So hope to see you guys next month for the next reaction. Next episode and next reaction. And let's see you around that time. Bye.